I'm Andrew Phillips. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to repair a damaged plug electrical cord. Let's go ahead and get started. Here's what we're dealing with. As you can see, this plug is severely damaged. You even have the bare wires exposed, which is causing the breaker box to trip, and obviously this is very dangerous. So what I'm going to do is actually cut this section out, probably right here, and then put it back together properly and reseal it. Now in this case here, what I'm going to be doing is just removing that section and just pretty much bypassing that, rewiring everything with some wire connectors, sealing it up nice and properly. Now in the event that you had a damaged plug as well as the electrical cord, you can buy that entire piece. They come in 9-10 foot strips where you get the electrical cord and the new plug on there. You can get those at Home Depot, Lowe's, different places like that, and you can then put an entire new electrical cord and plug on there. What you want to be careful though is that you get the proper gauge. You want to make sure that the gauge is proper for the device that you're putting the plug on. You don't want to go with a 16 gauge wire. In the case here we're doing a vacuum cleaner, you want to maybe go with like a 14 gauge, but that's the main thing you want to be careful is make sure you get the right gauge, and then you can replace that whole piece if need be. But if you just have a damaged section like we're dealing with here, you can just remove that section and then just connect it properly and reseal it. To complete this project, what you're going to need is some standard wire connectors. Preferably the smaller ones. In the case here I have a multiple pack, but you can get the small ones so we can connect the wires in and have them properly sealed in there. You're also going to need some wire strippers and cutters so we can cut the wire and then strip off the leads to make the connection, and then you'll need some electrical tape to go ahead and bind everything off when we're done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut it probably about an inch above the damaged end on this end, and then about an inch below the damaged end on this end, so that way we have a nice clean section. So let's go ahead and make that cut. You can see inside here, this particular electrical cord only has two wires going through it. You have your white and the black. So those are going to be the two that we're going to go ahead and strip. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the outer part of the plug and insulation off of it so we can expose the two wires. So then we can strip those off and get them ready to connect. Okay. I want to go ahead and you don't want to go too hard to where you're cutting in and hitting the wires. You just want to break the insulation here on the outer part of the plug so we can strip that off. See the wire right there, so you definitely want to be careful that you don't cut into that. Okay, and there they are exposed. So now we can go ahead and strip those off. I went ahead and stripped the black already. I'm getting ready to do the white, but I just wanted to show here. Sometimes people wonder what the string is inside of an electrical power cord. Basically, this is just filler string. What you can do is just cut it out of the way to get access, and then we can go ahead and strip this white one, and then we'll do the other side, and then we can start getting ready to connect everything. Here's this one end all prepped, the black and white. Wires have been stripped. The filler string has been cut back, so we're ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, get that ready. We'll be right back so we can start connecting everything up. The other side has also been prepped. So now we have them both. We're going to go ahead and make these connections. We'll use the wire connectors then to hold it in place so we can then seal everything. Now, another way you could do it, you could solder these together. And for this particular video, I'm going to show you just how to do it with the wire connectors. But soldering is also another good way to do it. You would solder these two pieces here together. Then you could use just like a heat shrink seal to seal that up and make that permanent. For this one here, I'm just going to use wire connectors to make that connection and seal it. And then we'll just use electrical tape to then go ahead and bind everything up. So let's go ahead and we'll get those connected. Now we have various wire connectors that are part of the standard set that you'll get. You have the larger one here, which is normally used for connecting 14 to 12 gauge wire. Then you have the next size, the yellow, which is used for connecting 20 to a 12 gauge. Then you have the orange, which is used for connecting 18 to 14 gauge. And then you have the smallest one, the blue one, which is used for connecting 20 to 16 gauge. So in this case, we're dealing with 14 gauge wire. We're going to go ahead and use the orange connector here, which is second from the smallest, to make that connection. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these wires, twist them to make the initial connections like this. Once you've got them all connected, then we can then take the wire connector, slide it over that, and then just go ahead and twist that until you get a good bond, and that will connect on there. Okay, tighten them all the way. See here, everything is connected. No wires touching each other, so we're good to go. So I'm going to now take some electrical tape and just kind of go over everything, make it sturdy, and then we'll go ahead and test this out. I'm going to go ahead now and wrap some electrical tape on there just to kind of seal everything. Here's pretty much what I've done. I went ahead and kind of overlapped the electrical tape to make a nice tight kind of crisscross over everything, and then came here just kind of wrapping it into the plug, as you can see here, to make it nice and secure so everything is nice and tight. We have a nice bond, everything is good with that. Let's go ahead and plug it in and try it out. Okay, well, that pretty much wraps this up on how to replace a damaged electrical power cord. Rather than buying a whole new vacuum cleaner or another appliance, whatever your issue may be, why not just spend a couple dollars, fix it yourself? Like I mentioned at the beginning, if you do have the plug and everything is damaged, you can always buy that entire piece at a Home Depot or Lowe's and just replace that. They're anywhere from $10 to $15 to replace that, which is a lot cheaper than replacing the entire product. So in this case here, what we dealt with here, you're looking at just a couple bucks, since we had the actual plug and the cord that was still intact. We were just fixing that damaged section of this electrical plug. So please send me any questions, any comments. I would love to hear from you on this. As always, I appreciate all of the support. Please like the video, subscribe to this channel. We'll see you next time.